In this video tutorial, I'd like to talk about the Enchanted Garden, which is a Trinity College grade 1 piece. The first thing we need to notice is the title, the Enchanted Garden. And if we have a look at the tempo tells us that we need to play andante with a measure of 67 crotchet beats per minute. So this is a fairly slow piece, and we need to then play quite slowly. So please don't feel the need to rush. Take things slow and create that Enchanted Garden feeling. The next thing we need to notice immediately before starting is that we have two treble clef signs. This means that both of our hands will be above middle C. So both of our hands are going to go here for the first part of the piece. And also that we have a flat sign, not that we need to worry too much about it, but it means that this piece is actually written in D minor. But luckily for us, we won't be playing too many of the flat signs. Only here and there we will be pressing down that B flat. Let's talk about the right hand first. The right hand, we are going to start with our thumb, and we're going to start on A. So middle C, we're going to go find A above middle C. So this is where our right hand's going to start. And the right hand is fairly easy. The first part there is 1, 4. And now we have a natural sign next to the next note, B. This means that we're not going to play that flat sign. We're going to play the B here. We're going to go on. And again we have the natural sign, line 2. So that's our first part, and that is our theme, our melody line. The left hand, we are going to start on D and G. Thumb's going to be on G and the forefinger is going to be on D. That means that if we place our hand in the correct position, the pinky will be on middle C with both our thumbs next to each other when we place both hands on the piano. And the left hand is fairly easy as well, but we need to remember we need to hold on to this bottom note here. We call it a third voice, and we need to hold on to that note for 2 beats at a time. So we're going to do holding on to that note, lifting up, then third finger and second finger again. And then it repeats, holding on to that note, the bottom note. Second line. And this is also very important. If you look at those little bowed lines, we call it phrase lines. It means that we have this heavy, light, down, up movement. So down, up, down, up. So there you can already hear the Enchanted Garden, the enchantedness of the piece coming through. If we look at line 2 from bars 9, here's our first hand position movement for the right hand. So we've ended with our thumb on A in bars 8, that first bar in line 2. And now we need to move our third finger to our thumb's place. So now our thumb will be on F, but our third finger must be on A, right there. And remember, we're still above middle C. And now we are going to play in one hand position 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And here we are going to have another movement of our hands. The next note there is the second finger on D, D, but that means that we need to skip E. And we're going to do it like this. When we press down that note there, we're going to move our second finger over our thumb. There's my thumb. There's the second finger on D. So basically we move back to middle C. And we're going to do 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. Then continuing with line 3, 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Now we've got a tied note tying those two minims together there, the first minim there. So we need to hold down the notes for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we have a look at the left hand is going to jump around quite a lot in this part here. And if you notice quite closely, in bars 8, at the end there, just before we move into bar 9, we have the return of the bass clef. So now we need to move our left hand from this position where the pinky was on middle C. We're going to move our thumb back to middle C. And now we're going to have this F, C, or 5 and 1. And then we're going to do this. We're going to place our fourth finger on B flat. And we're going to stretch all the way to F to get to that F note there. And then we're going to return our hand and do the same thing. F, C, 5, 1. Go to 4 on B flat. 4, stretch all the way through there. So that first part again. 5, 1, lift. 4, 1 with a stretch. Back. 5, 1, lift, 4, 1 with a stretch. Now, we are going to move quite far. We're going to move our hand all the way down so that our thumb is on A. C, B, A. And now we're going to do this. We're going to play 5 on D, 1 on A. But now we're going to move our thumb to the pinky. And we're going to do the same thing. 5, 1. Move our pinky back to where our thumb is. 5, 1, and finally we're going to put our second finger over to D flat with our fourth finger on G. So basically back to middle C position. I'm going to do that part again. So we move from here, we're going to move down so that the thumb is on A. 5, 1, switch thumb with pinky, switch pinky with thumb, second finger over to B flat, and play 2 and 4 together. Now, for this part here, we are going to go all the way down, thinking of B flat. Here's middle C, B flat. We're going to go 1 register, 1 octave down, and we're going to place our fourth finger there. Stretch up again to F. So we're going to do. Then we're going to move our pinky to C. And then we are going to go find A below the C here, place our thumb there and press 1 and 5 together. Remembering that that part there is a tie as well, so we need to hold down for 4 beats, not just 2. Putting the left hand there together then, it's going to go 4, F, C again, then B flat F, all the way down, D, A, switching, pinky with thumb, switching again, putting the second finger over, playing 2 to 4 together. Now we're going to go down to this B here, 4th finger, 5 on C, and and then all the way down to this A here, holding for 4 counts. Now what's lovely about this piece is that when we get to that part there, at the end of line 3, it says a tempo in the next bar, and the notes are exactly now the same as the beginning. So we're going to place our hands back to our initial position with a pinky on C and the 2 thumbs next to each other, and we're going to repeat basically what was played in the beginning. Remember that down up movement. Nice and slow. With only the ending that's different. Ending with thumb, second finger and forefinger together. That's the ending. Let's put our hands together for that middle section, lines 2 and 3, where all these movement come into play. So remember now we're going to go third finger on A and F and C, thumb on middle C. And we're going to do, then the right hand's going to play. So it's going to be this together, then right, together, right, together, right. So it's going to go. Down. Remember to put your second finger over. Switching. And now the second finger over. Now, this part here, we're going to keep our hand here. The right hand doesn't move, but the left hand goes down to B flat. Stretching. Up 1 to C. And now all the way down, holding both for 4 counts. 3, 4. Then we move back to our original position to start again. And so on until the very end. Another important thing here that we quickly have to talk about is dynamics. We start mezzo piano in line 1. Then in line 2 we move mezzo forte, medium loud. Then in line 3 we have the diminuendo and the ritenuto. And this means that we need to start playing slower but at the same time playing softer until we get to that point where we have to go back to a tempo with again a mezzo piano. And finally, at the very, very end, we're going to do a decrescendo, playing softer. And at the end, we need to do a ritenuto, going slower. And then, very important, on the last notes, we have that little half moon with a dot, and that's called a fermata, or a pause. And when we get to that part, we need to hold those notes for longer than 2 beats. I would say about 3 beats. So when we get to that part, we're going to do slower and hold 2, 3 and lift. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out any future videos. Thanks for watching.